Hi guys, I think it's Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing good and we're all still learning and educating ourselves and moving forward together. I want to talk to you today about a word. Just a simple word. But there is no simple words, is there? There isn't. Their words hold so much meaning that that we've got to be careful about them. The word I want to talk to you about is a word that has been used to describe me my whole entire life. Yes, I've been called the N-word. I've been called anything you could possibly be called. But this word, the first time I heard this word, it was family members that used it. It was a word that they had been taught to use to describe me. Okay, what is the word? What are you talking about, Shauna? Get to the point, girl. Okay, I understand that for sure. This is the word. Mulatto. Okay, so before I give you the history of the word and why this is not a word we use anymore, I'll tell you why I want to talk about it. Well, because it's important, and also because somebody had used the word recently in a conversation with me, and they thought, and they weren't coming from any place of negativity or anger or hate or anything. They were just coming from a place of just not knowing, ignorance. We have to stop getting offended by that, by the way, because you don't move forward unless you know things. And it's okay to say, I'm ignorant on this topic. Please help me with it. Totally fine. I'm ignorant on a boat, just a train full of topics. And I am fine with saying, I'm ignorant on this topic. Can you please help me become educated? So they used the word, but it wasn't coming from any place of hatred or nastiness. When I first heard this word when I was a kid, when I first heard mulatto to describe me, it was from family, obviously. But when I first heard it from somebody who wasn't related to me, it was at the grocery store. Actually, it wasn't a grocery store. It was just a little butcher shop / candy shop. And they had the 5-cent candies. And you know what? I apologize, but that is a whole other trauma that it just came right back to me, is going to this store, and it had all of the candies that you could possibly ever want, but it also had the container of N babies, and then beside it, the tar babies, which were the same. I couldn't even go and get candy without having a lump in my throat looking at this. I'm just like, and friends are buying these candies and it's just like, what? So I apologize for getting distracted there, but that was a memory that its lid just came right off right now. So, but anyways, I went to the store to get candies, and one of the people from the neighborhood, who is an awful woman to me, very awful. I might have mentioned her before. She sneered the word at me. She sneered it. Do you know what I mean? Like, her teeth were closed, and when she just, mulatto, like, it was just, so at that moment, I knew, even though my family was using that word to describe me, it was obviously not a word I was interested in being described anymore. That moment right there, that second that woman sneered it at me, the same woman who used the N-word at me, the same woman who told me the property value was dropping because we moved in, that woman used that word. And that was the minute, that second right there, that I knew nobody's using that word on me again. And if they use it on me, I'm going to make sure they know why they shouldn't. That was that pivotal moment. You know, you all have that moment where you've just, that's it, right? We all have those moments in life, in different situations, where you just have this, nope, no more. I'm done. That was it. So basically, I kind of made it my thing as I grew up to try to figure out the history of this word. So I want to talk to you about the history of this word, and that way, if you hear this word being used by your parents or your grandparents, or if you yourself thought it was okay, you now know it's not. It's not okay. Don't use it. So, mulatto. The origins of the word are not clear. I think if I ended up in an old library, possibly in Spain or Portugal, I might be able to figure out the origins of the word. But as far as the research, sorry, you know how I don't like to use the word research. I'm not a scientist. Anything I've read or looked into, I can't find the origins. So I will tell you the root of the word. So in Portuguese, the root of the word is, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing, mula. And then Latin, so all of the words come from the Latin word mulus. I'm not good at pronouncing Latin, I apologize. So basically, when you say all of these things, you end up with the reality of the word, which is mule, which is the offspring of a horse and a donkey. So the origin of the word mulatto is mule, meaning a mixed breed animal. Can you get where I'm going with this? Why I don't like that word? So let's fast forward to, or let's rewind to slave trading times. They used that word to describe children that came from an African parent and a European parent. So a black parent and a white parent. They created that word mulatto. They didn't create it, but so they described those children of those unions, and I say union when reality, we know that there was probably not a lot of choice on the part of the black person there. But so if you look up, slave literature or slave adverts selling people, you'll see strong mulatto boy can work good in the field, or good with kids mulatto girl. So anything that was used to describe people by slave traders, anything that was created by white supremacy and slave traders to describe me, I'm never going to accept to describe me. Does that make sense? So the word has disgusting history. It's not acceptable, and we don't use it anymore. So if it's something, like I said previously, if it's a word that your family uses, you now have an arsenal of information that you can use to stop them from using that word. I will also say, and I may be dating this incorrectly, but in the early ages of cinema, like the late 20s, there were a couple of movies that came out that were the tragic stories of a white woman having a relationship with a black man and then ending up getting pregnant with a mulatto baby. I apologize for not knowing the exact title of one of these movies, and I think that either the release date or the time frame that it was created was late 20s. But you can certainly look it up if you wanted to. This woman gets pregnant with a black baby and ends up killing herself because it's that horrible to her. There's a lot of awful things that go on before that. There's also another movie that was released, and I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same time frame, where a woman passes as white. She's mulatto, but she passes as white, and she's going through her life passing as white until her brother, who doesn't pass as white, shows up to visit, and then she ends up killing herself because, she's no longer passing. So with all of that crazy stuff said to you right now, you can completely understand why we do not use that word. I'm fine with mixed race. I'm fine with black. I'm black. Whatever. Right? I also feel like we're constantly trying to use words to describe people, their physical, the way they look, the color of their skin, their religion. We're always trying to describe them that way, and we don't need to actually ever do that. So let's not. Try using people's names. I have extreme success doing that. It was really nice talking to you guys again. And again, I'm only coming out of a place of Karen and Sharon. We're just here to learn. That's how we change. Catch you on the flip side.